Hello and welcome to Sports 360 Degree on DD India, your weekly dose of all the major sporting events making headlines across the globe. In the next half an hour, we will analyze a range of engaging topics from the world of sports, Girona's La Liga prospect this season, Indian cricket team's historic win in the second test match against South Africa at Newlands, scheduled for the 2024 T20 World Cup, major sporting events set to thrill India in 2024. Also, a story on the rise and fall of the Blade Runner Oscar Pistorius. But first up, the cover story we are tracking this week. What Girona FC has achieved in the 2023-24 La Liga season to date has generated global headlines. The La Liga side is currently level with Real Madrid at the top of the table, with both the teams having acquired 48 points. But can the Catalan side really win the title? More in this detailed report.
Girona are ready to upset the La Liga status quo in 2024 as they look to throw down a title challenge to Real Madrid, Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. The big three have dominated Spain's top league in the past 2 decades, winning every top flight since Valencia's success under Rafa Benitez back in 2004.
We cannot keep pace with Real Madrid. We do not want to put that label on ourselves. Atleti are 10 points behind us. We are now 20 points clear of Betis, who I think are the first team outside the European sports. So that's how we look at things.
They are level on points with league leaders Real Madrid after first 18 matches, 7 points ahead of Barca and Atletico. Now Michel's team are ready to power on in 2024. Despite not having experience of their rivals, there is a refreshing fearlessness about Girona, and they will be test for any team they face in the months ahead. At the start of 2024, Girona are in the mix of a title push with 7 points advantage over Barcelona and Atletico Madrid in the table. Their sole defeat of the season so far against Real Madrid came in September, placed them just behind Carlo Ancelotti's team based on head-to-head record at the beginning of the calendar year. January will be a crucial month for Girona before they travel to Real Madrid on February 11, followed by a trip to Atletico in April and a home game against Barcelona in May. Based on Girona's 10th place La Liga finish in 2022-23, their title tilt is all the more surprising this season, one based on coach Michel relying on a solid core of players.
The objective is, first of all, to take it game by game and try and qualify for Europe, which would already be a success for us. It would be making history, and well, it's true that today it was a really nice game. It was very difficult, very complicated. We did a lot of things well. Atleti did too. So a great match. I think my players have an incredible mentality, resilience. When it gets tough, they try always and push on.
Girona have advantage of no European football in the second half of the season, with their title rivals also tied up in the Spanish Supercopa in January. That allows Michel more opportunity to rest players and keep his squad fresh as the title race steps up. The cold pragmatism of La Liga suggests they will come up short, but a first ever Champions League place is not beyond them, with Sevilla faltering this season. Narayan Singh support for DD India.
Now shifting focus to cricket, Jasprit Bumrah bagged a 6-wicket haul as India defeated South Africa by 7 wickets to win the second test match in the Cape Town. With the Proteas all out for 176, Rohit Sharma and company chased down the 79-run target in just 12 overs. India's first ever win at Cape Town has arrived in Dean Elgar's farewell test match. India won the shortest completed test match in the long history of the test cricket to level the series 1-1.
India overcame a first innings batting collapse to level the 2-match test series by beating South Africa by 7 wickets at the Newlands Cricket Ground in Cape Town. The match ended in just 5 sessions of play with a total of 107.1 overs bowled, making it the shortest completed test match. Seamer Mohammad Siraj took a career best of 6 wickets for 15 runs as India bundled out South Africa for 55 in their first innings. After Dean Elgar won the toss and elected to bat on a wicket, offering plenty of assistance to the bowlers. In reply to Africa's first innings, India started on a positive note and also took a considerable lead of 98 runs before they lost 6 wickets one after another at the score of 153 for 4 to bundle out in the space of 11 balls without scoring a run, the first time that has happened in Test. The list of unwanted milestones did not stop there for the visitors as they had 6 batsmen dismissed for ducks, which equaled the previous record. As many as 23 wickets tumbled on a crazy first day. Premier pacer Jasprit Bumrah then produced a match-changing spell of 6 for 61 in the second innings to halt Proteas at 176 and at a lead of 78 runs. South Africa's Aiden Markram was the lone man fighting in the middle as he slammed a century. Rohit Sharma and company then chased down the 79-run target with ease to register India's first ever win at Cape Town, which also marked Dean Elgar's farewell test match, who scored 4 and 12 in his 2 innings. With this win, Rohit Sharma became just the second Indian skipper after MS Dhoni to avoid a Test series defeat in South Africa. Prior to this series, India had lost 7 and drawn 1 Test series in South Africa since 1992.
The International Cricket Council have announced the schedule for the 2024 T20 World Cup. The tournament, which will be hosted by USA, West Indies will see co-host USA kicking off the campaign against Canada on June 1. The tournament will end on June 29. England are the title holders, having beaten Pakistan in Melbourne in November 2022. More details in this report.
The International Cricket Council have announced the schedule and groups for the 2024 T20 Cricket World Cup to be held in West Indies and USA. The showpiece event will begin from June 1 with the final on June 29. Co-host USA will take on Canada in the opening match on June 1. India will start their campaign on June 5 against Ireland. The men in blue then take on arch rivals Pakistan on 9th of June, USA on June 12 and Canada on June 15th. Defending champions England and 2021 winner Australia have been assigned to Group B, which also includes Namibia, Scotland and Oman. New Zealand are in Group C with the West Indies, Afghanistan, Uganda and Papua New Guinea. South Africa has been assigned to Group D, which includes Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Netherlands and Nepal. While the format that was used till 2022 featured a qualification stage consisting of associate and lower ranked countries before a Super 12 stage followed by the knockouts, the new format will have 2 group stages involving all the 20 teams and then the semi-finals. The teams are divided into 5 groups of 4 teams each. The teams that finish in the top 2 of each of these groups then qualify for the Super 8s, where they will be divided into 2 groups of 4. The teams that finish in the top 2 then subsequently play the semi-finals. The group stage will be held from June 1 to 18, followed by the Super 8 matches which will take place from June 19 to 24. The semi-finals of the tournament will take place on June 26 and 27. The first semi-final will take place in Guyana and the second will be held in Trinidad. The final will be played in Barbados. A total of 55 matches will be played across 9 venues, as the 9th edition of the cricketing extravaganza kicks off on June.
Meanwhile, Australia thrashed Pakistan in the third and final test match by 8 wickets at the Sydney Cricket Ground to give a memorable send-off to David Warner, who was playing his last test match. Half centuries from Marnus Labuschagne and Warner helped Australia chase a mere 130-run target on day 4. With this win, Australia have claimed a 3-0 clean sweep in the 3-match series. Chasing 130, Australia lost an early wicket of Usman Khwaja, but Warner and Labuschagne stitched a massive partnership. Warner got dismissed for 57, but Labuschagne remained unbeaten at 62. Earlier, Josh Hazlewood scalped 4 wickets as Australia bundled out Pakistan for 115. Meanwhile, Australian dynamic opener David Warner ended his test career on a high note after Australia whitewashed Pakistan in the third and final test match by 8 wickets at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Warner received a guard of honor from the Pakistan players as he walked onto the pitch for one final time. He scored 57 in his last test innings. After he got dismissed, he walked off to a loud applause from the Sydney crowd, receiving standing ovation from all the players and fans. The Pakistan players came up to him one by one to applaud. He lifted his bat to acknowledge the cheers, waving it around as the noise grew. As the boundary rope, he was given a hug by his long-standing teammate Steve Smith, who replaced him at the crease and remained not out on 4 as Australia completed an 8-wicket win in an emotional match. And in his farewell speech, Warner said, "I would like to be remembered as an exciting, entertaining, and I hope I put a smile on everyone's face with the way that I played, and hopefully the young kids out there can follow in my footsteps." Warner finished with a total of 8,786 runs with 26 hundreds in 112 test matches, having scored the most runs in the format by an Australian opener. In 161 ODIs, he scored 6,932 runs with a total of 22 tons. What a stupendous achievement by David Warner. Meanwhile, the Indian women's cricket team, led by half-centuries from Shefali Verma and Smriti Mandhana, registered a comprehensive 9-wicket victory over Australia in the first of the 3-match T20 series at the D.Y. Patil Stadium in Navi Mumbai on Friday, after Indian T20 captain Harmanpreet Kaur decided to bowl first. The Asian Games champions bundled out Australia on 141 in 19.2 overs before chasing down the target in 17.4 overs. Pacer Tita Sadhu was named the player of the match for career best figures of 4 for 17 in 4 overs. The 19-year-old Sadhu picked up wickets of Bat Mooney, Tyler McGraw and Ashley Gardner in the power play, and along with fellow pacer Renuka Singh reduced Australia to 33 for 4 in 6 overs. India gears up for a packed 2024 sports calendar, with the Paris Olympics qualifying events taking centre stage. The Indian men's hockey team has already secured its spot, while women's team aims to do the same in Ranchi. Badminton enthusiasts anticipate India Open, a crucial BWS Super 750 tournament in New Delhi. Table tennis enthusiasts await for the 2024 World Table Tennis Star Contender in Goa. More updates in this exclusive report.
The year 2024 promises to be a thrilling spectacle for Indian sports fans. From badminton to hockey, table tennis to cricket, India is set to host a wide range of sporting events this year. The qualifying race for the Paris 2024 Olympics is heating up in various sports. The Paris 2024 hockey qualifying tournament in Ranchi kicks off on January 13. This will be first major sports event in India in 2024. The Indian women's hockey team will look to seal its place in the Paris 2024 Olympics through this event. The Indian men's hockey team has already secured its berth at the Paris 2024 by winning the gold medal at the 2023 Asian Games in Hangzhou. The BFW World Tour India Open will be an important tournament for badminton players looking to make the cut for Paris Olympics. The tournament, to be held in New Delhi, will attract top-tier badminton players from around the globe. Being a BWS Super 750 tournament, it will offer crucial ranking points. January will be a busy month for Indian sports, with the 2024 World Table Tennis Star Contender starting in Goa from January 23. The big-ticket table tennis event will run till January 28. The Indian men's and women's hockey teams will also play some 2024 FIH Pro Hockey League matches in Bhubaneswar and Rourkela in February. The World Junior Chess Championship 2024 is scheduled for June. The tournament will bring together world's most talented young chess players to New Delhi. The year concludes with the badminton tournaments, with Lucknow hosting the Syed Modi International Tournament in November, followed by 2 India Super 100 meets. Several selection trials to complete India's squad for the Paris Olympics will also be organized by India's various sports federations before June. The Indian cricket team will also host several bilateral series over the course of the year. The men will play Afghanistan, England, New Zealand and Bangladesh at home, while the women will welcome West Indies. Narayan Singh's report for DD India.
The 2024 sporting calendar is set to be dominated by 4 huge events: Euro 2024, Olympics, Paralympics and the T20 World Cup. Here is a rundown of the leading events in 2024.
2023 was a massive year for sports, with several major sporting events taking place, including the Cricket World Cup, Rugby World Cup, FIFA Women's World Cup and Men's Hockey World Cup. However, if you thought that was massive, just wait until you see what 2024 has in store for you. 2024 brings with it some of the most prestigious and most watched sporting events in the world. Here is a rundown of the leading sports events in 2024. 15th to 28th January, tennis, Australian Open, Melbourne Park. 25th to 11th March, cricket, India vs England 5-match test series. 2nd to 18th February, aquatics, World Championships, Doha. 12th May, football, Women's FA Cup final, Wembley Stadium. 22nd May, football, Europa League final at Dublin Arena. 25th May, football, FA Cup final at Wembley Stadium. 26th May to 9th June, tennis, French Open, Roland Garros, Paris. 29th May, football, Europa Conference League final, Athens. 1st June, football, Champions League final at Wembley Stadium. 4th to 30th June, cricket, Men's T20 World Cup, hosts USA and West Indies. 14th June to 14th July, football, Euro 2024 in Germany. 26th July to 11th August, Olympic Games in Paris. 26th August to 8th September, tennis, US Open at Flushing Meadows in New York. 28th August to 8th September, Paralympic Games in Paris. Narayan Singh's report for DD India.
South African athlete Oscar Pistorius has been released from the prison after serving 8-year jail term for killing his girlfriend in 2013. After leaving the jail, he will be part of South Africa's restorative justice program. Here is the story on the rise and fall of the Oscar Pistorius.
Once hailed as the definition of global inspiration, South African Paralympic star Oscar Pistorius faced a swift downfall, transitioning from the Time magazine cover with the words man, Superman and gunman to the confines of prison. On Friday, the double amputee known as Blade Runner was released on parole after serving 8 years for the killing of his girlfriend in 2013. Born in 1986, Pistorius overcame a troubled childhood, having lost his mother at a young age and enduring an amputation of his legs at just 11 months old due to a congenital condition. Despite these challenges, he excelled in various sports, including rugby. In 2012, Pistorius made history as the first double amputee to compete at both Olympics and Paralympics. However, the glory was short-lived. In 2013, he found himself embroiled in the murder of his girlfriend, Riva Steenkamp, who was 29 then in 2013. Pistorius claimed it was a mistaken identity, but the global attention and a series of legal battles led to his conviction for murder, resulting in a 13-year prison sentence by 2017. Released on parole in 2024, Pistorius faces ongoing conditions including therapy for anger management and counseling on gender-based violence. From Olympic heights to the depths of infamy, his journey remains a complex and controversial chapter in the world of sports and justice. Sports Desk, DD India.
Our correspondent Oli Bharat has more on this. Take a look.
South African officials confirming in a brief statement that Oscar Pistorius is now at home. What they're not telling us is exactly when that move from prison to home happened, or indeed how, as a result. The fact that he is at home, though, means that the parole has kicked in. He will face a series of strict conditions between now and the end of his sentence in 2029. He will not be able to consume alcohol. He will not be able to give media interviews. Any employment opportunities will have to be run past his parole officer, and he will have to remain in the house, the address that he's given to authorities, for a certain number of hours per day. We are also told that he will have to take part in ongoing rehabilitation programs related to gender-based violence and anger management issues. Now, Oscar Pistorius' release from prison is a huge focus of attention here in South Africa. It is deeply controversial. There are women's rights groups who say it gives exactly the wrong message to be allowing Oscar Pistorius free on parole in this way. South African authorities insist that normal procedures are being followed with regards to these parole conditions and the release from prison, and that Oscar Pistorius is receiving no special treatment at all. It was back in 2013 that he killed his girlfriend Riva Steenkamp, shooting her through a bathroom door here in Pretoria. It came just off the back of the 2012 Games in London, in which he was a huge star at the Olympics and also the Paralympics. There is going to be a huge amount of attention on Oscar Pistorius in the days and weeks and months ahead in terms of how he lives his life here in Pretoria under these parole conditions. Ollie Barrett in Pretoria, reporting for DD India.
Brazilian soccer legend Mario Zagallo, who won 4 Soccer World Cup for Brazil as either player or coach, died at the age of 92 on Saturday. Left-winger Zagallo, considered by many to be the best player to be played on the team that won the Brazil's first World Cup in 1958 and on the squad that retained the title in 1962. He coached the team that featured all-time greats like Pelé, Jairzinho, Rivelino and Tostão and won Brazil's third World Cup in Mexico in 1970. He was assistant coach when Brazil won their 4th title in 1994 in the United States. Zagallo played a role in nearly every major chapter in Brazilian football history, from its first World Cup title in 1958 to the tournament it hosted in 2014. In a major boost to her career, former US Open champion Emma Raducanu moved into the main draw of the Australian Open. This happened after the American tennis player Lauren Davis pulled out of the year's first Grand Slam with a shoulder injury. Raducanu had slipped to number 301 in world rankings and could not get a direct entry in the Melbourne Park Grand Slam. The 21-year-old Briton was also overlooked for a wild card and was set to take a similar path as her 2021 Flushing Meadows run when she became the first player in the Open era to win a major after starting out in the qualifying rounds. However, the exit of the Davis, which followed withdrawals by Karolina Muchova, Petra Kvitova, Irina Kamila Begu and Katie McNally, opened up a short spot for the Raducanu in the main draw. Meanwhile, Delhi Ranji cricket player Dwij Mehra is all set to leave his mark in the opening season of the Ranji Trophy. Dwij, who made his debut last season with Delhi, scaled 14 wickets in 3 games, including a 5-wicket haul against Mumbai, which helped Delhi secure a win over their long-time rivals after a gap of nearly 43 years. DD India correspondent Abhishek Prasad had an exclusive conversation with Dwij. Take a listen.
Cricket in India is a very competitive sport, and those who make it to the top have a journey full of hardships, challenges and struggles. We are right now at the Arun Jaitley Cricket Stadium, and with me is domestic cricket player Dwij Mehra, who made his Ranji Trophy debut last season with Delhi. Dwij, thank you for talking to Doordarshan. Cricket in India is a very competitive sport, and you made your Ranji Trophy debut last season with Delhi. So, how big is this, and what are your feelings about that?
I think this is a dream for any kid. I was able to fulfill it last year by having this platform. It's like a stepping stone for me. I would want to keep continuing what I did last year so that I can perform for the team and do whatever I can to make the team win.
Last season, you made your debut against Andhra Pradesh, and then in the second match against Mumbai, you took a 5-wicket haul, and that too of prominent names like Prithvi Shaw and Sarfaraz Khan. So how big was that? And against Hyderabad also, you took 6 wickets.
The second match was literally a dream come true. I didn't expect it at all. The plan before the game was just to bowl in the right areas, because our plan was very simple. We were going for a draw first. But fortunately for me, that day my ball was going well and I could get them out, which was a very big thing for me, for my confidence, for my start of the career, which was really good for me, and I'm very thankful that I was able to deliver on that day, because it was.
So that's all in this edition of the Sports 360 Degree. We hope you enjoyed it. Sports 360 is your one-stop destination to the heartbeat of sports, blending news, analysis and nostalgia. Join us every week as we bring you the pulse of sports world. Until then, stay healthy and keep cheering your favorite teams. Namaskar.